When we talk about the distance of a point to a line, we're always talking about the shortest distance, because of course there's many different distances you could have, and the shortest distance is always the perpendicular distance. So there's our random point, I'll just call it x1, y1. There's line in general form. We want to find that perpendicular distance. So the formula basically, if you look at it, is on the top of the fraction we have the equation of the line in general form, and on the bottom a bit of Pythagoras. So square root of a squared plus b squared. So find the equation of the circle with tangent 3x minus 4y minus 12 and centre 1, 4. And you might be thinking that's a bit of a weird question to have when we're talking about perpendicular distance, until you remember some circle geometry, and that being that the radius is always perpendicular to the tangent. So here's our circle, we're saying it's centre 1, 4. There's our line. Well, in order to find the equation of a circle, we need to know its centre, we've got that, and the radius. The radius in this case would be the perpendicular distance from our point to our line. So we sub in absolute value over the coefficients of x and y squared in Pythagoras' theorem, and we end up with 25 on root 25, which is just 5. So to answer the question they've asked, what's the equation of the circle? Well, it'll be x minus the x value of the centre squared, y minus the y value of the centre squared equals the radius squared. Now, why the absolute value? And I guess that's got to do with regions in the plane. Because we know that if we were to shade in the region which was greater than 0, we'd shade in one side of the line. If it was less than 0, it'd be the other side of the line. So I guess what I'm getting at is, if when you substitute into the general form, one gives you a positive number, one gives you a negative number, you know they're on opposite sides of the line. So that's another way we could tell that. So there's ax plus by plus c equals 0. On one side we'd have all the points where when we substituted in we'd get positive numbers, and on the other side we get all the ones that are negative numbers. Is that useful? I don't know, to be honest, but you never know. It might crop up at some time where you have to work out which side of a line the points are on. So that's our first bit of theory for today.